Hi, my name is Bethany, and I thought I would try a meal prep week from the Healthy Meal Prep book from Fit Couple Cooks. So I got this for Christmas, was super excited because my family on both sides know just how much I've been enjoying meal prep, and so I got a lot of stuff to do with that, and it included this lovely book. Now, I just came back from going to the store for this, so I'm just kind of in a mood. So if I seem a little bit different, that is why. I'm about to show you all of the things I got. Now, what's really cool about their book is like they do this little meal plan thingamajig, and they suggest to you kind of like how you could do a week or actually 6 days of meal prep, and they have it all laid out for how you're gonna do it. So I'm gonna try it. I wanted to try to do this as like authentically as they did it. This week that I'm going to be trying is the Cut the Carbs week plan thingamajig. Now honestly, I don't care about cutting carbs. I am just going based on a calorie deficit, but I don't know, it's the first one in the list, so I decided to go ahead and try it. What's really cool is in the back here, they have these shopping lists. So what I decided to try to do was go to the store with the shopping list. So I'm going to go down the shopping list and show you what I got, and I'm gonna really hate myself later because I'm gonna also try to show you the price if I can find it on the receipt for each of these items. And yeah, so here is the beginning, our haul. Now, Stephanie and Adam of Fit Couple Cooks like to have fresh garlic and mince it there, but that is one of those things that I just don't have the patience for. So on these lists, I did try my best to just go with what we're supposed to go with, but yeah, the first item was 14 garlic cloves, or 2 heads of garlic basically. So I just got this minced garlic because I don't have enough time on my hands nor patience, and I'm already super stressed out from shopping and the fact that I'm going to be making a bunch of meals. So we're just gonna let that go. Then we have 2 medium onions. Obviously we have more than 2 here, but you know. 1 red bell pepper, got this from Aldi. It's in a set, so you know, whatever. 4 medium zucchini squash. These are kind of a little on the smaller side, except for like this giant one. But I was really tempted to get these zoodles that were already zoodles, but I didn't because they're super expensive compared to just getting the 4 zucchini, so I did that. 1 head of cauliflower, found exclusively at Walmart. Not in general, just between Aldi and Walmart. Walmart had it, so. Now this next part called for 4 cups of baby arugula and 4 cups of baby spinach. So I just got this baby spinach and arugula mix, and I figure the funky looking leaves are the arugula and the normal ones are spinach, so I'll just divide them out. And I mean, probably is like 4 cups each. I have no idea. I got these from Aldi. Now this is probably one of the most frustrating parts for me, and they wanted 2 whole cups of basil leaves like packed in the cups. And if you aren't aware, basil is expensive, at least from where I am. I'm from Oklahoma, and for one little thing, and of course it is organic basil leaves or whatever, it's this little thing of leaves, like little thing that is not even near a cup at all, not in your wildest dreams, is like $2, and they only had one of those. So I ended up getting this and this. It's not 2 cups at all, it's 1 cup, but I was hoping that it would pass because it's like a paste of it. So 2 large lemons. I mean, they're lemons. I don't really know how to tell if they're like large lemons versus normal lemons. Got those from Walmart. This next item is a pound of ground beef. It didn't really say what kind of ground beef, or it could have been bison, but I'm not that fancy. And this one's 85% lean, 15% fat, so I don't know, I just grabbed a roll of it from Aldi. Now this next one is 1 1/4 pound of chicken. I got a lot more than that, but that's kind of just how it works, especially at Walmart, if you don't want to pay a ridiculous price for chicken breast. 1 1/2 pounds of raw shrimp, medium. So these were a little more expensive because they are peeled and deveined and raw, which apparently is not the easiest combination to find, at least at Aldi, but I found them. I did pay, I think, $1 at least more per package than the other ones, but if it saves me from having to peel and devein shrimp, I'm okay with that. So then we have 12 eggs, got these from Aldi. It also called for 4 tablespoons of butter, but I already had that. I don't really eat feta, but it called for 16 ounces of it, so I had to get 4 of these. Yeah. If this isn't the best cheese I've ever had in my life, I'm gonna be kind of mad, just to be honest. I got this entire thing just for 2 tablespoons of it. This is shredded Parmesan. And then they also called for 8 ounces of mozzarella, which I have a bunch of shredded mozzarella in my fridge, so I'm going to be using that. Also on the list was a cup of olive oil. I couldn't remember how much I had left, so I grabbed another little bottle just in case. Then I was supposed to get 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, which Walmart was completely out of, and Aldi, it didn't even seem like they stocked it. I couldn't tell, but Walmart was like wiped of it. So it looked like online that you could substitute balsamic and a few other things for it. So I went for some balsamic vinegar because I know that I like balsamic vinegar. So, I mean, just 2 tablespoons, it should be fine. Hopefully. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This one's from Aldi. So I bought this entire thing for 2 tablespoons of almonds, but it did look like there might be another use for almonds later on in the book, and I don't know, it seems healthy, so. A 15-ounce can of chickpeas, which apparently are also called garbanzo beans. Got these from Aldi. They want ground cumin, already have that. Then mustard powder, which Walmart was out of, and Aldi did not appear to be stocking, which was extremely annoying. Looked this one up online, and it appears that you can use mustard, a certain amount of mustard in replacement for it, but I've noticed that with yellow mustard, it also has turmeric and paprika, which is also called for. So I have a funny feeling that this probably isn't going to turn out how it should, but let's just hope for the best. So I got some really cheap yellow mustard at Walmart because I couldn't anymore. So smoked paprika, because I have paprika, but something about smoked paprika, I've got a lot of recipes that ask for smoked preferably, so I figured just might as well get that kind. Parsley flakes I already have in my cabinet. Managed to find some ground turmeric. Then they asked for salt, but preferably Himalayan, so I finally just got the stinking ground grinder thing, whatever. A half cup of marinara sauce. Now they're pretty specific about looking for something that doesn't have added sugars, and it looks like this one doesn't have any, so I'm pretty excited about that. And even though it was organic, it was pretty much cheaper than the other marinara sauce at Aldi's, so I was pretty excited to find this. And then the last thing on the shopping list was black pepper. Again, I already have that. I'm not gonna worry about getting it freshly ground. Now here's a few things that I did buy because it seemed like I might need them. This lovely lemon squeezer, which I see them use so much on their channel that I finally decided to just go and buy one and see if it's worth the hype. And then this metal mesh sieve or strainer, whatever you want to call it. It was specifically requested on there, so I went and bought one. Now for each of these days, I calculated the amount of calories that were in the plan, and it looks like I have about 300 calories left over for each of the days. It varies a little bit on each day. So for me personally, I have about 300 calories left for snacks and for just junk things that I want. So I decided to go ahead and pick up some caramel rice snack things that are pretty low in calories per serving, as well as this sea salt already popped popcorn. I'm just kind of a fan of these sorts of things. Also pretty low in calories. Yes, they have carbs. No, I don't care. And then hopefully I'll be able to squeeze in like a Sprite or something for dinner because I just want something with sugar in it, or like one of the pieces of candy that I still have left over from Christmas and New Year's. So that was the haul, and here's the meal prep. So welcome to the meal prep portion of the video. It's also going to be extreme meal prep because, as you might have noticed, I don't have glasses on because yesterday I was a genius and accidentally dropped them. So they are now split in half, and so yeah, I can't hardly see anything. The good news is that I am nearsighted, so all I have to do is bring things really close to my face and we'll be fine. So hope you enjoy this. They have a like whole action plan thing that I'm going to be trying to follow, so it kind of gives you all the steps for how to do this, which is really cool. After I finish this little intro for this segment, I'm actually going to put a timer on to see how long it takes me to do this meal prep. Now, to be fair, I'm not like a professional chef. I'm not super fast at stuff in general, so it might take me longer than it might take you or someone who's like better at doing whole kitchen stuff. And also take into account that I'll probably be like moving my camera around to get a few shots so you can enjoy the lovely meal prep process with me. Let's get into this. The first step is to preheat the oven, which I have already done, to 400 degrees. We're going to be greasing a 12-hole muffin pan and preparing the egg muffins first. So here we go. Okay, so for the eggs in this particular pan, I'm just doing 4 ounces of feta cheese, even though it called for 8. I'm about to find out if enough of the egg mix actually gets in here, but it just said to put some feta cheese in here, so this is how much I put in. We'll try. Okay, so now while those are baking, it tells me to go ahead and return to the prep day action plan. And it's going to tell me to wash and prepare the ingredients for the cauliflower rice. Looks like a half medium onion diced, put in a bowl, and the head of cauliflower placed in the bowl of the food processor. Let's see how this goes. Guys, so basically what happened was I became my own food processor. I'm not sure that this is necessarily a food processor in the first place, but it was like the closest thing I had. So basically, buy the cauliflower rice, the kind that's like already riced for you. Just do that. Or if you actually know what you're doing and have used a food processor and have an actual thing that's called a food processor and know what you're doing, then go ahead by all means. But I think it's been about 20 minutes I've been working on this, so I'm just going a little bit insane. So we just finished the rice cauliflower thing, and it's setting over there to cool. So right now we're gonna try to make this quick pesto. Okay, so we removed the shrimp and we are currently adding spinach Let's see how well that goes because I have to separate it. So here is the removed shrimp, and now it is sauce in there. Okay, so it is now the 2.5 hour mark, a little bit over that. Your girl is tired. I am just not about this right now. I have put the feta egg muffin things and the shrimp scampi with the cauliflower rice up in the fridge in their meal prep containers, and in between that they had me do the spiralizing of the zucchini, cutting up an onion, yay, and also cutting up this lovely red bell pepper. And they also wanted me to mince some garlic, but we all know that I already I cheated that one out because I'm so done cutting stuff up. I really don't want to have to do the meat part. I hate it. I don't know why. I just really hate cutting meat. It's so annoying. Anyway, that's where I am right now. I will say it is definitely meal prep day, and I'm really hoping I'm going to finish in time to do what else I'm supposed to do. I also drained and rinsed the, ooh, that was smart, whatever. Drained and rinsed the garbanzo beans, chickpeas, whatever you want to call them. So here we go. We're going to make the zucchini noodles and the chicken parmesan part. So I'm finally done. That took me, I don't know if you can see it, 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 48 seconds. So if you're actually prepared, I would say you probably would only take maybe 4 hours, because between having to find some stuff and having to move my camera around, I'd say maybe that took 30 minutes. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just glad it's over. Now I gotta leave because otherwise I'm gonna be late. I think I'm most excited about the shrimp scampi. I know that I like the chicken parm because I've already tried it before. And I actually am kind of looking forward to this beef thing. And I did taste some of the feta cheese, and it's kind of like having cheese that tastes kind of like sour cream. So, I don't know. Hopefully the egg things taste good because I'm gonna have them every single morning. I guess now you can see what happens. Okay, so I have the eggs I just reheated in the microwave. I had to split them in half because they weren't wanting to heat properly. And we're gonna find out if they're any good. Here we go. That's actually pretty good. It's not the best thing I've had in my life, but it's a lot better than it smelled. So I'm gonna be having this for 6 days. Yay! Just finished heating up the chicken parm for today. No, let's trying to steal my chicken parm. Quality content. It's good. Okay, so I'm in the middle of meal prepping at my mom's house for the next coming week. But I have my shrimp scampi thing that took forever to make that I'm really excited about, so I'm gonna try it. It's very good. You can taste the pesto and like the garlic butter and the lemon, and it's fantastic. So today is day 2 of the cut the carbs week meal plan thingamajig. I have a pretty bad headache right now. I don't know if it's from the weather, from sleeping really, like going to bed really late, or the fact that I have had barely any sugar and barely any carbs, or because I had recently been having a little bit more caffeine after having not been on caffeine for quite a while. I started drinking a little bit. So I don't know, but I have a headache and it is not fun. Again, for breakfast we have our egg feta muffin things, and I will say freezing things, I have to be quiet because my husband's sleeping. He just changed shifts, but when you freeze food like this, it will kind of, when you microwave it, come out a little bit watery. So if you're not like me and you're better at managing your fridge, I would suggest doing like part of it, keeping it in the fridge, and then putting part of it in the freezer. That would go bad. If it would go bad, I'm not really sure, but I know that I'm really bad at like keeping up with that stuff, so I just threw it all in the freezer, and I'm just bringing it out like every day to kind of thaw a little bit before putting it in the microwave. Okay, so it is actually dinner time now. I was not having a great morning slash afternoon. As I said before, I was having a headache. I'm going to conclude that it was a migraine because sensitivity to light, nausea, all that fun stuff. Super intense headache too. Could hardly keep my eyes open. So I took a nap and that helped a lot, and I also got some caffeine. So yeah, I had the shrimp scampi for lunch, but I didn't have like all of it. I saved some of it just in case, but I don't think I'm just gonna finish it. I don't want to right now. I don't know about having like, I'm following the way that they planned it out, but I'm not sure about having meals back to back. So, because I had the shrimp scampi last night, and having it for lunch today just didn't sound so great, but I also felt like throwing up, so that might have done something to it. I will also say I'm not really a fan of rice cauliflower. I think that I would rather just have cauliflower pieces, so something feels more solid, because it just felt like I was just eating a bunch of mush, especially when I didn't feel like keeping food down anyway. But anyway, I feel a lot better than I did before. I look really gross, but you know what, this is me. Too bad. I am going to be roughly on calorie. I'm probably gonna go over a little bit because I had a lot of my caramel snack things because I needed something feeling solid in my stomach, and The shrimp scampi wasn't doing it. Anyway, moving on. This is going to be the first time I've had the beef stuff with the arugula, and I did see that it said to separate the arugula and the beef. I'm just really lazy. It's been defrosting. Like, how am I supposed to get it all off of the arugula, though? Like... What is happening to the arugula, though? Okay, so to be fair, if this tastes disgusting, it's probably my fault because I put in an entire can of tomato sauce instead of what I was supposed to. I'm not excited about this after feeling gross all day, but here we go. It tastes very Mexican. Like Mexican food, and I don't like Mexican food, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of my problem is because of the entire can of tomato paste. It's not bad, it's just not like something I want to eat. But I am getting hints of the balsamic, and as I've said before, I like balsamic, so it might be worth it. I'm not sure about this wilted kale though. I don't know about this. I think it's better if you like just keep it in your fridge or whatever, and then it's all great. Or if you're gonna eat it that day or something. Hey guys, it is day 3 and it's actually like 1 o'clock. I don't know, like, okay, see, here is our 3rd day of eating the egg stuff. I am glad that we are halfway there, concerning that, regardless of the fact that I haven't eaten it yet. I tend to be eating my breakfast really close to my lunch, mostly because I don't really feel super hungry, and I don't know, just straight egg and cheese doesn't really like set well in my stomach, so I'd rather eat it close to lunch and then just make lunch feel fuller. That's just how I'm doing it right now because it is. This morning I took a walk. I feel a lot better headache wise, but I do have like major sinus pain right here. So it is day 4, and once again I come to you at the time of eating these lovely egg muffin things. They're not bad, it's just egg and cheese, and I think that's just because of the whole low carb thing. I would definitely prefer to have something carby with it, I guess, something bready, I guess. And as for yesterday, I had the chicken parm for lunch and the shrimp scampi for dinner. I did get some more caffeinated beverage and I had some popcorn to snack on at night. I didn't quite measure it, but I'm pretty sure I landed around my calorie goal. Again, this is coming off of not having followed calories in a few months. But I just wanted to share that information so that this is kind of more of an accurate experiment. I don't know. And then Justin had asked me if I was cheating by eating my breakfast right before my lunch, and to that I say no. As long as I tell you guys so you know that that's the case, because the idea of the meal prep, meal plan thing isn't necessarily like you just eat these things at these certain times. It's just a general, like, this is what you could have for breakfast, this is what you could have for lunch, this is what you could have for dinner. They don't dictate, like, they don't even dictate the amount of calories that you have. Obviously you fit in what you want to fit in, and they suggest your snacks. Of course, since this is the cut the carbs week, they would suggest non-carby foods. I had like cheese slices and almonds or something. But as I've already informed you, I'm not doing this to cut carbs. I'm just trying out the whole idea of following one of their meal prep meal plans. So I'm definitely having some snacks as carbs. And of course, I already showed you those, and also pops. So, but I am trying to keep in a calorie goal, and I do want to update you if I lost any weight during the 6 days of eating this way, and how I feel and all that jazz. Also though, this is one of those TMI times. Chew your food. Your bowel movements may change, but then again, I guess that's a given on most diets. I don't know, just so you know. Okay, bye. Alrighty, it is day 5, Friday, And I just finished taking Nala for a walk, and it's almost 1 o'clock. So I will be eating my breakfast and my lunch back to back today again, which just seems to work better for me. I don't know. Second to last day of that for breakfast. And I'm really excited because today for lunch is chicken parm, and then it's the beef, and then tomorrow it's beef and then chicken parm, I think. Which means that, like, for me, those are the more filling ones, so at least I'm gonna feel more full per meal, hopefully, these last 2 days. And on Sunday, I 100% plan on eating whatever I want. Alright, we are on the last day, day 6, Saturday. I am very excited that this is the last day I have to eat these for breakfast. So just so you know, yesterday I got a caffeinated beverage, and that's where I thought I was going to stop having things that I probably shouldn't have. Then I had some pizza crust, because if you've ever had Casey's pizza crust, it's very good. And then we were taking another walk, and we walked by a local ice cream shop, and so I kind of got a scoop of ice cream there. So I am pretty sure I went a little bit over calories that I've set, but I did eat all of my food except for the chicken parm. There was some really some weird texture thing going on there. It was like almost squishy, so I didn't eat all of it because I don't know why that was. I don't know if I'm just used to my chicken being like way overdone or what, because I'm pretty sure it was done when I cooked it. But there you go. Anyway, so I'm excited. This is the last day, and next you should see my final thoughts. Okay, so it is still Saturday, but I decided to go ahead and record this ending part because the only thing I have left to eat is the chicken parm for dinner, so I think I can conclude now. Overall, the meals themselves are pretty good. None of them were like gross or unbearable, but something about like eating them over and over, some of them back to back over the week, kind of made them like less enjoyable. That was, definitely true for the feta and egg muffins. Just by this morning I did not want to eat another one of those. And as a disclaimer, I did just come off of being able to eat like literally whatever I wanted and however much of whatever I wanted, so part of my angst, I guess, is probably coming from that. So did it make my life easier? Well, yeah, I didn't have to really think about breakfast, lunch, or dinner for 6 entire days. However, the 4.5 hours of meal prep for this week was kind of grueling, honestly, especially by myself. The back of their book suggests that it only takes 2 hours. On that, I'm gonna say not so much. Unless if people are all just faster than me at making this. Was it worth the money? So now I'm about to go into a pretty big breakdown on this. As I showed you in the haul video, I did buy some things that I needed that weren't necessarily food, and I also bought some snacks that were outside of the meal prep. So the total on both of my receipts from the stores that I went totaled to $112.27. Well, that number seems pretty high. Let's look into the calculations of what actually went into each meal that I have prepared. Now these I'm just going to read off to you because I have the actual exact numbers from my estimations going through every ingredient and how much of things I got and all that stuff. So here's what I have. The feta cheese egg muffin was about 69 cents per serving. The shrimp scampi with the cauliflower rice and the pesto was about $5.41 per serving. The chicken parm with zoodles was about $1.69 per serving. And the spiced beef with chickpeas and arugula was about $3.07 per serving. According to statistics broken down by Trent Ham from the Simple Dollar, the average American spends about $7.64 on food per day. Let's see how our meal prep stood up to these statistics. Day 1's meal plan brought us to $7.79. Day 2 was $9.17. Day 3 was also $7.79. Day 4 was another $9.17, and day 5 and 6 were both $5.45 each. That gives us a grand total of about $44.82 for 6 days, which averages out to $7.47 per day, which is slightly below the average American's food cost per day. And of course, in addition, this is going to be all healthy foods and not just easy, cheap junk. Also though, this does not include snacks and drinks, etc. It might not seem like a big difference, but according to a study in 2015, the average American actually spends $20 a week on eating lunch out, and then you add another $33 from either doing takeout or just eating from home. That's $55 a week just on lunch. And that averages out to about $7.57 for one meal every single day. Now, clearly these two sources don't seem to agree with each other all that much, but either way we can see that the meal prep gives us either average or below average meal costs, and it cuts out 6 days of eating out. So in the end, price-wise, I do think it is worth it. So what about weight? A lot of people can follow this, you know, just wanting to have healthy meals and just have things prepared for them so they can make better choices. I, however, am on a weight loss journey, as you know, so I am interested in this aspect. So during this week, I tried to stick to, you know, obviously eating all of these meals and then only going over these, like in snacks and drinks, to hit a 1,770 calorie goal per day. So I had been stepping on the scale a little bit this week to just kind of look and peek at what might be happening, and it did appear that I was losing. Now obviously today's still Saturday, so it wouldn't really be accurate to try to give you a weight today. So tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, I'm going to weigh in and I will insert the amount of pounds or whatever I have lost here. So overall, I think that meal prep is worth it. Now for this particular plan in this book, I think that all of the meals were tasty. I just think that the frequency in eating them was a bit much and kind of started to contribute to me not really enjoying them as much as I could. However, again, if I were more used to eating more healthier foods, I might not feel so much like this. It is a variety of different foods. You're just swapping out 3 different lunch dinners and then having the same breakfast. Having the same breakfast when it's just egg and cheese wasn't that great. But I will say that it helped to have the shopping list that they already had put together. It helps so much when going to the store and kind of just needing to look through my pantry and my fridge to see what I already have and stuff like that. It was definitely ended up being more affordable, and again, I know that the people who make this definitely are interested in things being healthy, so that's a major plus as well. If you don't want to follow their suggested meal schedule, you could always just throw in a couple meals that you would like to kind of break up the monotony, and then just use those as having meals in your freezer for whenever you need them. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was a pretty long one, so if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I just wanted to kind of include the entire process of going through this so that you can also relate and maybe just enjoy watching me struggle. I don't know. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know if you'd be interested in seeing more videos like this one. Also, you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to receive notifications when I upload. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and see me in my next video. Bye!